Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another segment of Swift Tips with Swift Ties. I am your host, Ebony Rose, and we are finally at the end of the month. We are on our last segment for October, and we're just going to do a little recap today of the month. But before I get into the recap, I just ask that you please like and share this video if you are listening to us on our podcast. We welcome you. We welcome all of our new viewers, all of our new listeners. So if you are new, please like and share. If you are returning, we welcome you back. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for making all of these months so great for us. We appreciate all of you. I did mention our podcast briefly. We do have a podcast on all platforms, Swift Tips with Swift Ties, and it launches every single Monday at 9 a.m. And here we are once again on all platforms and Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube page if you are watching us on YouTube. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. That would help us out a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, if you are new, once again, these are called Swift Tips with Swift Ties, where we bring you tips on how to utilize your content for your business, on how to start your business, on how to get your business out there, advertising, marketing, all of that stuff. So on this month, we decided to focus on ways to make your content work for you. So I figured we would do a little recap for the month of October and just kind of go over the tips that we talked about during the month. And we have an exciting topic for next month, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So October, we talked about making our content work for us, and the first week of October, we talked about repurposing your content. What does this mean? Taking content that you may have used at the beginning of the year, reusing it or repurposing it to make it fresh and new, because you may acquire some new viewers, some new followers, some new clients, some new customers. So you want to make sure that your information is staying relevant and it's staying in people's minds so that they remember who you are. So repurposing your content is always a good idea. It's never a bad thing to reuse something that you have already put out. Just make it better. So that was our first week. Our second week, we talked about making content to market yourself. People like to see who is behind the brand. So you may want to do a little post about the owner or the staff or the team that you have, making content so that people can feel that they can relate to you, so that they feel connected to you. And then in turn, they'll want to purchase your products or try your services or whatever it is that you have to offer them. It's going to make them want to actually be a part of what you have going on. Then the following week, we talked about working your blogs. That is another way to make your content work for you. I talked briefly about how blogs are coming back, and people can search blogs on the internet and they pop up for them. And it's a good way for people. Some people like to read. So blogs are a good way to make your content work for you. It's a good tool. It's a good way to kind of mix it up a bit. I know some people go live, some people do reels, some people go on Instagram, they do YouTube videos, and there's a whole bunch of content that you can put out, and blogs is another form of content that you can put out. And you can use blogs to either expound on a topic or a service that you have offered in the past and people want to know more about it. Your blogs are where you can use that space to kind of go into more detail about what it is you were talking about, the tips that you were giving, And it's a good way for you to get all of your information out. And you can do that in multiple ways. You can do it via blogs. You can do it via Facebook Lives, where you sit and give tips out on what to do, what not to do. You can do it on YouTube videos. You can do it on Instagram TV. You can do it with Reels and just give little bits and pieces of things that you have talked about over the past. And you can always condense that into a blog as well. So that was our third week. And then last week we talked about working smarter and not harder. And I think this one was my favorite one because we talked about utilizing the tools that you have, whether it be your cell phone, a notepad, your computer, the tools you have on your website that you have to remind yourself to do your tasks. We talked about to-do lists, making a plan, and having a routine that will help you work smarter and not harder. We always want to make sure that we are planning ahead, that we are doing what we need to do to make our lives easier. And writing a to-do list is going to help you do that. So those were the tips that we talked about this month. Repurposing your content, making content to market yourself, working your blogs, and working smarter and not harder. So if you want to hear any of those Swift tips, feel free to go back to our YouTube or even on our website. We do have our podcast on our website, so you can go and listen to our podcast, or you could visit our YouTube channel, or you can visit us on Facebook, and you can go back and watch all of the Swift tips from October, and those will kind of go into more detail about what we talked about each week. And in November, we are going to be talking about SEO. If you have no idea what that means, then stay tuned for November, because we are going to be going into that. Every week, we're going to be talking about a different topic so that you know what it is. And I'm pretty sure people have heard of it before. You may know what it is. You may not know what it is. So we're going to talk about that next week. And it's going to be a new month. So it's going to be a whole new lineup of Swift tips. And then we're going to close out the year doing a full recap of all the Swift tips that we have done from March until now. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at info@swiftties.com, or you can visit our website, www.swiftties.com, or you can call us at 860-689-1083. We are always here to help. We are always here to answer any questions that you may have. Feel free to book your consultation with us on our website, and feel free to send us messages if you like, feedback or topics that you want us to cover, and we will happily put that in the queue for, next year, probably, most likely next year. But stay tuned and reach out to us if you have any questions. We are here every Monday at 9 a.m. on all platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all podcast platforms. You can listen to us or you can watch us. And we look forward to hearing from you. Until next week in a new month, we look forward to seeing you at 9 a.m. Take care.